Hello, good day to my co-masterants and to our professor, Mr. Julius Ikot. I am Mrs. Mary Joy Bicada, your facilitator for today in the subject School Laws and Legislation. My topic is all about the Department Education Manual of Style or the Deped Order number 30 series of 2019. So, learning objectives to find out the content of the Deped Order number 30 series of 2019 and to appreciate the importance of this order. What is the Department Education Manual of Style? Okay, so the Department of Education has developed the Deped Manual of Style or DEMOS 2018 edition. This manual prescribes the latest language style, format, and usage based on the Chicago Manual of Style 17th edition, and it integrates Deped House style, which includes common usage within the department. So, naradyo siya gisunod nga style, format, and then which is the gisunod based ra sa Chicago Manual of Style ang Deped. Okay. So Deped aims to inculcate a culture of excellence in its delivery of quality, accessible, relevant, and liberating education for the Filipino learners. To achieve this, all the officials and personnel from the central down to the regional, schools division, and school levels are encouraged to actively take part in promoting the use of DEMOS or Deped Manual of Style. This will not only establish Deped credibility but also institute and convey a unified Deped identity to its partners and stakeholders and the public. So, muna si J purpose. Okay, from the officials and personnel, from central down to the regional, schools division, and schools level. So, encourage good nga may use good ani nga demos, ma-follow. To convey a unified or the uniformity. Okay, so the manual containing set of rules of standards, so mo siya ang nasa sudan ng manual of style, shall serve as reference for Deped personnel involved in styling and formatting Deped issuance and other official documents to ensure clarity, completeness of information, conciseness, and consistency in spelling, grammar, hyphenation, punctuation, capitalization, typeface, and abbreviation, among other rules. It aims to guide them develop official documents for communication and publication of the department's strategic priorities. It shall assist them in facilitating their processes, mechanism, and procedures in formulating easy to understand of issuances and strengthen the communication channels of field offices to facilitate the flow of information and expand linkages with other government units for effective governance. Okay, so muna siya ang nasa manual. So the manual is provided in inclusion number 1 and inclusion number 2 contains guidelines in the use of DEMOS. Deped, through the publications divisions of the Public Affairs Service, shall conduct the national orientation and workshop on the use of the Department of Education Manual of Style for personnel designated Regional Information Officers or RIOs, Division Information Officers, DIOs, and other personnel involved in the preparation of official documents in their workplaces. So, kailangan good nga na mag-attend good ani nga kanang na ay workshop in regards with this DEMOS, especially kanay mga RIOs and DIOs. Kaya of course, sila man ang mag-prepare sa mga official documents in their respective workplaces. So the monitoring and evaluation activities shall be encouraged in all Deped offices from the central, regional, and schools division, schools district offices. PAS PT shall update the DEMA's 2018 edition based on the results of continuous monitoring and evaluation. As grammar rules evolve, DEMA shall also be revised for continuous improvement within 5 years of its use or as needed. So, kani pong demos po, pwede pa na siya ma-revise after or within 5 years. So, 2019 ba na, 2020, 2021, 2023, 2024. So, we're still 2022 to 2023 or as needed. Okay, so kinahanglan gyud nga revise, so ma-revise po. So, all Deped orders and related issuances, rules, and regulations which are inconsistent with the enclosed guidelines are repealed, rescinded, or modified accordingly. The adoption and use of the demo shall take effect upon its approval. Okay, so muna siya Deped Manual of Style, fonts and sizes, header folder. So seal 0.76 inch, Republic of the Philippines. Muna siya Old English text, MT 12 point size, bold, Department of Education, name of regional office, name of office, Tacoma, point size, bold, division seal and school seal 0.76 inch, office details. Okay. So now, this is the Deped Order S.30 2019 memo. Okay, so now we're going to presentation of the Manual of Style 2018 edition. I'm going to present you now. Okay. So here's the Deped Manual of Style. So muna siya ang memo, and then this is it, the Manual of Style, Deped Manual of Style, demos. Okay. Adapt ang Chicago Manual of Style. So siya. So we have here abbreviation and acronyms, capitalization, currencies and exchange rates, dates, formatting, language usage, numbers, organization, word class, punctuation. Okay, so principles effective business writing. Okay, so abbreviations mo ni siya. If an abbreviation or acronym appears more than once in a document, spell it out at first mentioned in documents, issuances, and press releases. Enclose the abbreviation and acronym in parentheses after the full form or spelled out term, and then use the abbreviation or acronym in succeeding paragraph. So for example, the Department of Education or Deped shall continue to provide school-based management SBM grants to public schools. So to augment the school funds, so muna, Deped, dili na siya gi-state ang full, so abbreviation na siya sa second nga kanang na I mention, okay? Through the School Effectiveness Division shall manage the allocation of SBM grants based on the SBM guidelines on availment, release, utilization, and liquidation. But if a term is mentioned only once, use the spelled out form. So kung kas-ara gi-mention sa kuan, so spelled out gyud siya the Department of Education that state gyud siya fully. Okay, so abbreviations and names of organizations. So we have here, when the full form or spelled out term is less known than its abbreviation, use the acronym or abbreviation of the organization. List the abbreviation or acronym in documents, list of abbreviations. So for example, SHAMU, ASEAN, UN, UNICEF, and UNESCO. Enclosed is a copy of Deped, DSW, TDIL, GDOH. If unsure or unfamiliar with the acronym and to ensure the acronyms are set correctly, check online. So Mo to siya. So, mo man dyan kanang full form ko na pod, and then di siya known, but then ang kanira siyang abbreviation may known, so mo katura pong abbreviation mao'y gamiton. Okay? So, mo to siya. Example, Asian, UNICEF, UNESCO. But then, if unsure or unfamiliar with the acronym and to ensure the acronyms are set correctly, so, state po ni mo. Example, UNICEF, which stands for United Nations Children's Fund. So, articles and abbreviations, if the acronym is read as a word, avoid using an article before it. If the abbreviation or acronym is read as a series of letters, use an article before it. So, mo ni siya ang i-follow which kanang naay ang mga DIO o RIO. So, mo ni sila ang kanang naay mag-workshop po sila ani. So, mo ni sila ilahang sundon when it comes to making of document or the Deped orders encoding, that's something. So, capitalization. Okay. So, dili na sila palahala po duguan. Kaya daghan baya po yung mabasa, diba? So, when it comes to currencies and exchange rates, so, nga ni siya. Peso for consistency with news publication, use P instead of PHP. Okay. So, systems of chronology when it comes to dates. So, the Chicago Manual of Style recommends full capitals without periods. So, in keeping with the general guidelines, like for example, Anno Domini, the year of our Lord, AD, so wala siya. And before Christ, BC, wala siya period. Okay, time of day, use numerals with zeros for even hours for exact times, 11 o'clock a.m. Date for month, first na is month, day, comma, and then year. Sample, December 25, 2018. Okay. So, indicates pod, do not use an apostrophe before S to signify decades. So, daghan gyud sila i-consider and then i-follow dapat uniform. Okay, so mo ni siya. So, it is 120 pages. So, mag-discuss ako sa very mahal na siyang i-scroll and then I'm going to paste it in our Google Classroom so you could read if you wanted to one by one. Kasi magmaan ko ani magkuan. Okay, so mana siya. So Filipino terms commonly used, so mana siya. So the following words are commonly used in Deped issuances and official communications. Gamit po daw mga Filipino terms. Organizational terms and abbreviations. So, mo ni siya. Okay, so daghan. The Department of Education official issuances and letters. So, medyo ni siya ang very familiar na to. As well know, we are always reading memo from Deped. So, since I'm still applying Deped, mo to siya, magbasa-basa po og memo regarding sa katong application process. And then, not sure. So, list of subject used in the perpetual index. Okay. So, we have here the guidelines and the use of the Department of Education Manual of Style. Okay, so this is really important. So, brief background and problem. So, the word is continuously changing and so with the rules of grammar in the world Englishes, which confuse Filipino writers and learners. So, to address this problem, the Department of Education, Deped, shall adopt the American English and it shall use the Chicago Manual of Style or CMOS as its official reference, for it is the prescribed manual for most publishing institutions that use American English. Okay. So, in an in-depth study in the public information system of the Department of Education, it was recommended that Deped shall have an official style guide containing sets of standards and guidelines for styling and formatting of agency issuances and documents for use by the entire department. So, this recommendation was included as one of the functions of the Publications Divisions of the Public Affairs Service, or the Deped Order Number 52, Series of 2015, titled New Organizational Structures of the Central, Regional, and Schools Division Offices of the Department of Education. So, moto siya kinahanglan good no for recommended good siya, especially we are in the educational institutions, organization. So, kailangan good po nga magamit ani or mag-use ta ani. So, in a deep study in the public information system. So, Department of Education. So, the reason behind the creation of policy. So, the Publication Division's main function is to set and implement the standards and guidelines for styling and formatting of the department issuances, as what I said earlier. So, it has researched, consulted, developed, validated, and used the rules and standards before integrating them in the Department of Education Manual of Style, or DEMAS. So, this has integrated in the Deped House style, which includes common usage with the department or unique decision made for specific and practical purposes. So, the purpose of the policy. So, firstly, DEMAS shall serve as a guide for Deped officials, personnel, and learners to write clear and concise materials or documents for communication and publication containing Deped's strategic priorities. Secondly, it shall be used as a reference for formatting style of documents and materials to ensure clarity, completeness of information, conciseness, and consistency in spelling, grammar, punctuation, hyphenation, capitalization, typeface, and abbreviation, among other rules. Thirdly, it shall facilitate the process, mechanisms, and procedures in formulating policies to ensure easy to understand Deped issuances. Lastly, it shall strengthen the communication channels of field offices and facilitate the flow of information. Sakto man po, diba? It is easy to understand. Sakto good. If naaginingan ano siya. Okay, so motto. Okay, mono to siya. So, let's go back to my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so the importance of Deped Manual of Style. So, therefore, it is really important to have this DEMAS, which includes common usage within the department, which aims to guide, develop official documents for communication and publication, as it shall assist also in facilitating the processes, mechanisms, and procedures in formulating easy to understand official issuances and strengthen the communication channels of field offices to facilitate the flow of information and expand linkages with other government units for effective governance. So here's my reference. Okay, so my learning insight is it is really maybe from the very start, RIOs or those DIOs, it's hard for them but in working this manual of style, but they have workshop, so maybe, and then if they will used to in following this manual of style, but I guess before they are going to issue a certain order, it will be checked, right? There is a checker in it, and then if it is really following the demos or the Deped manual of style. Okay, so thank you for your time. That would be God bless us all.